Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, this is Daniel. I'm right in Florida. The turnover statistic is the most influenced translator to wins and losses, to the extent that the team with the lesser turnovers wins at about a 70% rate, being the worst in the turnovers since 2022, and the impact of said turnovers really needs to be addressed. As Jim Brown said, carrying the ball to the outside not only helps to lessen the hits on the ball, but also gives you a free arm to help deliver a blow against the tackler. So I just would like to say that's what we need to address the focus on, and that will help out a lot, I believe. What do you think? Go Browns. Woof, woof.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. So, Brad, he's calling in reference to a graphic that we showed. The Browns have turned the ball over in 29 of 34 games since 2022. It's worse than the end. They're down there with the Commanders, and I believe the Patriots and the Panthers. And when you think about, they've won a fair amount of games, given that they've turned the ball over at least once in 29 of 34 games. That means there's only been 5 games the last 2 years where they haven't turned the ball over.
It's actually remarkable that they've won that many games with that kind of a figure, Dave. And last year alone, -7, and they get to win 11 games and go to the playoffs, right? So -7 on the turnover. 23 interceptions collectively last year. Now, 5 different quarterbacks and all that stuff, but still, and Flacco was throwing them at a rapid rate while throwing touchdown passes at a rapid rate. So that compounded that issue. 14 fumbles. It just has to be better, right? And I think if you're not playing quarterback carousel, where it's somebody different every week, that probably is a little bit easier to manage. But the -7 number with the kind of defense you have makes it even more, outlandish, right? With the caliber of players you have on defense who are creating takeaways. They had 18 interceptions themselves, which is no number to, sniff at. They need to be on the positive side weekly, not just even in a season. So, and Stefanski talks about it all the time, but it's a matter of doing it. And I think once again, this kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier. If Watson can stay healthy and play the majority of a 17-game season, I think that number looks a lot different.
Yeah, and it has to. If we're talking about it, you can be sure the analytically driven Browns organization is talking about it as well. All right.